So let's look at how we can configure and integrate the FortiAP with the FortiAuthenticator so that we can be able to use FortiAuthenticator as a radius server for our SSID users. So this is the topology we are going to use. We have the FortiAP connected to the FortiGate device, and the FortiGate device is connected to the internet. We have a switch between the FortiAuthenticator, the AD server or your domain controller server, and the FortiAuthenticator, the FortiGate. The FortiGate, FortiAuthenticator, and the AD server, Active Directory server, are within the same LAN, so they have to be reachable and be able to communicate with themselves. Then we have all of our users on this on this Active Directory that want to also authenticate using the radius 802.1x authentication with. Then FortiAuthenticator will serve as the radius server for the FortiGate device and our users using the global SSID that will be configured. So I'll show you how you're going to configure the AP, the FortiGate device, and the FortiAuthenticator so that your users can be able to use FortiAuthenticator as the radius server. So let's go. Let's set up our FortiAuthenticator login. Admin, then so we have FortiAuthenticator now. So you go to network interface. On the interface, you ensure that you check all these radius protocols so that the radius port can be opened on the interface at which is communicating with the FortiGate device and all that. Then you click OK, save. Another thing is that you should ensure that you have a name, host name for your FAQ. For FortiAuthenticator, it can be any name. Ensure that the FortiAuthenticator is also resolvable using DNS. So if, for instance, I have my domain as cyberpoint.com, so the fully qualified domain name will be fact.cyberpoint.com. That means that there should be an a host record on your DNS for that. I'm still going to show you that. Then you should ensure that your time is configured. You have the time configured and set, and it has to be synchronized with your AD server. So ensure that you have the same time set up with your Active Directory. For instance, the time zone here is West Africa, and the time is 11:49 p.m. So ensure the time is well set and all that, and it's very important that you do that. Then let's go to authentication. Let's integrate our LDAP server. Coming to LDAP server. So I already done this. Let me just show you. You have to create new. Let's go back. LDAP server. Then create new. When create new, we'll bring you to this page. Name your AD server, which is your LDAP server here. I name it Cyber. Then the IP address of our LDAP server is 192.168.100.198. We still maintain this port 389. The base distribution name, we have DC equals to cyberpoint. This is comma DC equals to com, which means the cyberpoint.com. Let's try and test whether. So another thing is that bind type regular. Ensure that you have the username and password. Ensure this has a level of admin rights, what the service account you'll be using to integrate with your LDAP server. Then after that, you can browse this and see if it works. Now it works. It shows all the child nodes in the Active Directory, and we have everything in place. So if you come to CN users, I have my username, my users, and the groups as well, domain users, my groups. So everything is complete. Then I'll leave everything as is by default. Then come to Windows Active Directory authentication. Ensure this is enabled. This is very important for authenticating your remote users using RADIUS authentication. You get. So the Kerberos rem name is your domain name, which is cyberpoint.com. I would advise that you leave this in capital form, like capital letter. Then come to domain NetBIOS name, cyberpoint, which is this first word will be also inserted as NetBIOS domain name. So it has to be a capital letter. Then the FortiAuthenticator NetBIOS name, that's the name. That's the name you give this FortiAuthenticator. It might be any other thing, but mine is FAC. So you give it FAC. Then the administrator username, it has the admin account. That's the server, the service account that has admin rights. Then use your domain backslash administrator or any other service account that has admin right. Then insert the password. This is very important for your remote users. So you can have RADIUS authentication for local users and for remote users. I'm still going to show you the difference. For remote users means that you are trying to integrate your FortiAuthenticator with your LDAP server, so that FortiAuthenticator can serve as a RADIUS server for your Wi-Fi users and all that, using your domain, the domain credentials and all that. Then after all this are set, ensure that everything here is correct. Then you save. Then after saving, you'll see the header server was changed successfully, summer account, this and that. Then the next thing you want to do is to check. Come to monitor, then come to authentication, and come to Windows add. So this has to be running. This has to be running. This has to be joined, and this has to state connected. Everything here has to be in place before you continue. Why? It's very important, because you want the purpose of this is to be able to ensure that the LDAP users are able to authenticate successfully with the RADIUS protocols. So everything has to be intact. If this is not joined to the domain, you have to review the settings there again. If it states not connected, you have to go back and review your settings. Ensure you have capital letters where they are meant to, where you have to have those capital letters in the field. Then ensure that your time is synchronized. You have the same time, like with the FortiAuthenticator time and your LDAP server time has to be synchronized. They has to be the same, within the same time frame, so that the not connected and joint domain would be addressed. Then we'll go to let's go to authentication. Then let's go to user management, and let's go to user groups. So under user groups, you want to create user groups for your Wi-Fi users and all that. Then coming to users, you create new. Then after creating new, it will bring you to this page, to the next page. Okay, so you name this, you name your group users, anything, naming anything. Then select remote LDAP. Then you specify an LDAP filter, which is this. Check this. Then in the remote LDAP, because you've integrated it initially, it will show down. It will show in this drop down. Then click this, and after that, you can then set groups. So in the groups here, in the CN, you can do a drop down. You can select the groups that you want to allow to do that level of authentications and all that. I have Wi-Fi users here, and these two groups are what are the two groups I want to allow. So I set the filter. You can also test the filter and see that these are the users within the two groups, administrator and bow. Then you use filter, leave every other thing and just save. This local user, we are dealing with remote user, so let's just continue. Then we go straight to remote authentication server, then come to LDAP. Okay, we've done this. Let's go to RADIUS service, come to client. So here we want to set FortiGate as a RADIUS client with the FortiAuthenticator. So you give this a name, any name, FortiGate, then the IP address of your FortiGate device. When you go to the FortiGate device, you come to network, network interface. Then because they are within the same network, this would be my port. Is LAN, not one. So under this, you need to check this security fabric connection, all this administrative access. You need to check RADIUS accounting. This is not really necessary, but FMG access, this is for FortiManager, HTTPS, and but the most important thing here is your HTTPS, your RADIUS accounting, your ping, and this particular one, security fabric connection for the AP to be able to connect well. Then you click OK. So coming back to your FortiAnalyzer, FortiAuthenticator, you put the address of the FortiGate there. Then you insert a secret key. The secret key should be what you can easily remember in this particular page. Then you click on accept and accept RADIUS accounting messages for usage enforcement. Then support RADIUS disconnect messages as well. Then you click on save. Then after that, you go to policy. On policy, you create new. I've created this new. So on RADIUS client, you name it anything. Then the RADIUS client will be here, which is the FortiGate device. Then you have to select it. Let's say it's here. You have to select it and let it come to the chosen RADIUS client here. Then click next. Then under this, might not need to give it anything in this place. Click next. Under RADIUS authentication type, you click accept EAP. Click on accept PEAP protocol. Then you click on EAP -MSCHAP version 2. This is very important. You have to select these three. Then click on next. Then coming to this place, the username format, you can use any username format, the one you are comfortable with. I'll go with the first one. Then you have to check this in the RAM. So we need to create a RAM for this, so I'll just show you how this will be done. You can let's go back to the RAM, come to user management, come to RAM. So let's go to user management RAMs. So under RAMs here, we would create a new RAM. We have this RAM already, just create new. Let's edit this. Then put the name. You can name it anything, Cyberpoint, just a name that you can get familiar with easily. Then user source. Under user source here, you see the LDAP that we integrated initially. Then you select LDAP. You can select local or LDAP, but we are dealing with LDAP servers. Users from LDAP servers now, not users from the local FortiGate database. So you click on OK, save. Then we'll go back to remote authentication server, RADIUS. Then RADIUS services, policies. Then we'll continue from where we stopped. We've addressed this. Click on next. Click on next. Then check this. Click on next. Then so here under there, this RAM, this would have appeared here once this has been created. Then click on this. Then under use Windows AD domain authentication, this is very important to check then you check this, and you also create your filter here for the group you want. So don't forget that we created group we created remote group users in the user management the other time. So this, you select this, and what you name it that time will be here. Then you check it and choose it, and transfer it to user choosing user groups. Then you click OK. This has to be checked because you're using the groups in this filter as well. Then you click on next. So after that, you have to select all configured password and we have to select all configured password and OTP factors. This is only for RADIUS authentication. But if you want mandatory for password and OTP, that means that you want users to use OTP one-time password, which is not the case for this video. So you select all configured password and OTP, then select next, and you click save. So once this is configured, the next thing you want to do is to go to your FortiGate device, then come to user authentication, RADIUS server, then you create new. After creating new, you'll bring you to this page. Then name it anything that you are familiar with. Then specify the authentication method. Use MS Sharp version 2. Then don't forget the primary server. This is the IP address of the FortiAuthenticator. Then you insert it here. Don't forget we have the don't forget the secret key that you inserted in the when you were configuring the client, RADIUS client. So you need to put the secret key here and test connectivity. So it has to be successful. Then you click OK. Then after that, you need to now go to your setup your SSID. So come to Wi-Fi and switch controller. So you'd have set up your FortiAP initially. If you don't know how to do that, you can watch one of my videos. I already explained how you can set up FortiAP. Then come to SSID. So here, whether you want to do a local bridge or a tunnel mode, it works for the two of them. So the difference between local bridge and tunnel mode in FortiAP is that local bridge ensures that the existing network you have in your environment, your Wi-Fi users are also able to use that existing network, whether your existing network is 192.168.20.1. The Wi-Fi, the SSID you're creating will carry that network. The tunnel means that a new network will be created for you, so that you can have a separate network for your SSID different from your existing network. So let's choose the tunnel mode. On the tunnel mode here, you give it a name. Then you configure every other things you need to configure. The IP address has been given. You configure the IP address. Then here you also select the administrative access and every other things here. Then DHCP server, you ensure you enable DHCP server for your client and all that. Then where you're coming to is this particular place. You're giving it a name as global, which is the name of the SSID. Then the security mode will be WAP2 enterprise, and the authentication will be RADIUS server. So the RADIUS server here is the one you select here. It has to be this, the one you configured on user authentication and RADIUS service the other time. So you select the RADIUS server then you just click on OK. You can just leave every other thing as default, then you click on OK. Once you click on OK, you go to firewall policies, then you set up your firewall policies. So in this firewall policies, it has to be incoming interface. That's the SSID that we have. If you're using global, if you use local bridge for your SSID, you won't see this here as an interface, because it would have matched with the local with the existing firewall that you have here, which is your LAN network and all that. Then don't mind this. This is my outgoing interface, which is the WAN internet facing network. Don't mind the label is an internet face, is because of my lab, so it has to be your internet facing interface. Then you select source as all, so you can either select the user group here. If you select the user group here that you created here, which is this, no, we didn't create user group, so select all, then you click on accept NAT, then just set up the firewall policies and click OK. Once this is done, let's test it. Then you test let's test how it works. So I'm on my system and I want to just test what we just configured. So we have global user in one of the users in the group we integrated is as an administrator. We have it as administrator at cyberpoint.com. Then we have the password. This is now connected, and let's see if we can browse. Yeah, we can browse. We can browse now. Yeah. Gmail. So you can browse the internet. Thank you.